Welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. And we are here today to talk about Ready to Love. But first, can I just say, oh my God, I've missed you guys. I have missed you guys so much. Where have I been? I've been at a week-long conference, managers conference out of town. So I was unable to do anything. I wanted to do Potomac. I can't believe I missed Potomac, you guys. I'm not even going to put it up because it's about to come on tomorrow. So today it would just be like, we don't care anymore. We're about to watch it again tomorrow. So I will definitely have it up tomorrow for tomorrow's episode. I want to say welcome back to my girl Spades Lover. I missed you, ma'am. So hopefully you are feeling better and welcome back. And I also want to say welcome to all my new subbies. Oh, hey subbies, y'all fam, my beautiful people. I appreciate you guys. And if you are not a subby, don't you want to be beautiful too? Go ahead and subscribe. I'm just kidding. I'm sure you guys are beautiful anyway. But you could do me a solid and just subscribe. I appreciate it. Let's get to the episode, you guys. All right, so the episode opens with Tommy meeting with all the guys. They sit down, have their cocktail. He tells them, listen, this time it's on you guys. Next week, a girl is going home. So I need you guys to go on some real dates and get out of your comfort zone. And let's see what's happening. We'll meet back here and talk about the dates and see which one of these women you want to send home. And the guy with the eyes, we'll just call him Looky Loo. Yeah, he always looks so nervous and he be looking around and his eyes be all big. He's also the guy that told one of the women, I can't remember her name, the one with the braids, that he didn't like her. This was last week, and of course I wasn't here, so I couldn't talk about it. But he ended up calling her and telling her, listen, unfortunately, I can't really date you or whatever. I personally, you guys, I watched this lady, 40 Fit and Fine, I think is her YouTube. And I found her a couple years ago when she was doing Ready to Love, and she would actually give live, well, it wouldn't be live, but she would be watching it and giving you actual commentary as she's watching it. Hilarious. She's freaking hilarious, but she's so real. And I agreed with her when she said that he was not wrong in that. Like, oh, sorry if that did something to the sound. I just hit the mic. But he said that, he's not really interested in her. And that's fine. That's better than him ghosting her or acting funky and having her try to figure out what's happening or whatever. And like he said in this episode, there's really no way to say I don't want to really date you anymore. Like, that's fine. She just got to get out of her feelings. But him and his eyes... When I tell you, I wasn't feeling him at first, but after he had a few conversations with the ladies, I was like, oh, okay, he's not so bad. But yeah, him and those eyes though. But yeah, he was looking real nervous about getting out of his comfort zone. All right, so first date, we see Aisha and thick ass Frank go on a date. They seem to be really feeling each other. You guys, Blondie, I'm just really not feeling her. I'm sorry. She thinks she looks really, really good, and we're just gonna call her Blondie. I'm not gonna speak on her looks at all, but I'm just gonna put her picture up, and yeah, that's Blondie. But anyway, they go on a date. They seem to like each other, so it's kind of cute, you guys. They talking, and thick ass Frank really has remembered some things about her. So he's going on about how she was his number one, and he loves her confidence and the fact that he felt like he could be confident standing next to her. He loves the fact that she has a girl and a boy, 13 and 15. Like, he's spitting out all this stuff that he's remembering. And she was impressed, so was I. All right, thick ass Frank. All right, so then we have Mr. Looky Loo. His real name is Tyrone. He's meeting up with, God, what is her name? Carrie with the braids. He's meeting up with her to kind of go over what happened. All right, so he starts off kind of telling her how he was really feeling her at first, and then, talking to her on the phone and everything, she just became kind of aggressive. She immediately gets, irritated, like, hold on, aggressive? He's like, let me finish. And you know what? I don't know if we're going to call him Looky Loo or Nervous Nelly, because dude is just nervous. And I do remember him saying last week that he's just kind of awkward or whatever. So no, he's very awkward, and he found himself liking 2 or 3 women, and he don't know how to navigate. We get it. Listen, you're fine, Looky Loo. nervous Nelly, you're fine. But she gets a little offended by the whole aggressive thing. He's telling her, listen, when we spoke or whatever, he told her, I feel like when I got somebody else's number, your body language and kind of the way you were acting was a little off-putting. So basically, she was acting a little territorial, is what I'm getting. And he just had to let her know, like, listen, no, that's not what we're here for. That's not what we're doing. So she was kind of cameling, like Camille and Cornelius. We gonna get to them. But she was doing kind of that. And he's just nipping it off at the bud. Is that right? Nip it at the bud? Yeah, he's nipping it off at the bud. And I don't see anything wrong with it. And we're going to come back to the fact that she's super offended by the fact that he said she was aggressive. And she's like, oh, we're going here? This is what we're doing? Because no, I am not thirsty. I don't come off aggressive. Listen, pocket that. We're going to come back to that, okay? All right, you guys. So I'm hearing something for the first time. I missed it the first time. So upon watching it again, he told her that she called or texted him right after his date around 12:30 at night. I guess he had a date with somebody else, Shiloh or something. And she texted him and asked, are you still interested? ... That makes it a little different now, doesn't it? That means she asked for an answer. He didn't just out of the blue text her, oh yeah, you know what? I don't like you anymore. I'm not really interested in you anymore. So this kind of changes the whole thing for me. I mean, not that I was mad at him in the first place, but this kind of changes the dynamics of everything and how we got it. All right, so our next date is Corey. He's in the confessional telling us how he set up a date with him, Cornelius, Camille, and he actually didn't say the other girl just yet, but he said he knows that Camille and Cornelius have a soft spot for each other, and he's like, so Cornelius owes me one. And at the same time, they're showing where everybody's arriving, and Camille and Cornelius give a huge hug, and yeah. So Camille is like, so is this it? It's just me, you, and Cornelius? And Corey's like, yeah, it's just us. You know, I just thought it would be me and you. And I brought on Cornelius as your wingman, as my wingman. And she turned around with her nose all lifted. She's like, yo, wingman. Ugh. And then the door opens and Courtney comes in. And of course, Camille is feeling away because she knows that Cornelius was kind of feeling Courtney a little bit. So, it was just kind of awkward when Courtney walked in and she's looking like, hey, and she has to physically go and try to hug Camille because Camille was not trying to hug her. And then, Cornelius gets up and gives her a church lady hug. And she's like, oh, that's too much, too long. And I'm like, girl, this is not your man. That's so irritating when they do that. It's not your man. Ugh. So they show them skating, and Courtney and Corey are skating together. He's being inappropriate as usual. He got his hands on her hips, and he's like all bent down with his face in her butt. And Camille and Cornelius are skating behind them, and she's like, are you jealous because of them? And he's like, no, I mean, and she's like, what do you mean I mean? And I'm like, girl, what do you mean are you jealous? Like, this insecure stuff is not attractive at all. She should lose it. She's actually not a bad looking woman. She's pretty. But all this territorial stuff, this insecure type stuff, this super jealous stuff, it's just too much. And not to mention the faces she be making when she try to be funny. So Cornelius says it's a little awkward, him being there with both of them because he's kind of interested in both of them. He says, however, Corey is doing a good job running interference. Like, she's paying him absolutely no attention at this point. So he's sitting down talking to Camille, and they're talking about how they love their FaceTimes. And she's like, yeah, with your shirt off. And he's giving her this smile. It's so cute. It's so pretty. He has a pretty smile. Y'all, I just figured it out what it is with Cornelius' smile. It's dainty. And I'm not trying to be funny, but his smile is dainty. Next time you see him, think of dainty when you see his smile and tell me if I'm wrong. Dainty smiling ass. So then we cut to Courtney and Corey talking, and as she's speaking, he's like moving around her, and he moves to where he's like right in front of her. And his crotch is right on her knee. And she's like, oh, you're getting comfortable? And he's like, yeah, does it make you uncomfortable? And she's like, no. And I'm like, ew, why these ladies keep letting him be inappropriate? Like, inappropriate as fuck. He really do. I'm sorry. Last week when he was on that tree branch First of all, why did she get up there with her legs open like that? I don't think that's how she was meant to sit on that freaking big old tree branch. Just sit your butt up there. You don't have to open your legs like that. Then he got behind her and she's like, oh, I thought you was going to act like we was riding a horse. And I'm like, ew, girl, he's putting this thing all on you. You don't know this man. It's just nasty. And when he doesn't, she's like, oh, he starts galloping or whatever. And she's like, oh, it's taking a turn. And I'm like, yeah, a turn that you wanted it to take because you just definitely asked him to jump up and down on your butt with his thing right up against your butt. And now this girl is talking about she's not offended by the fact that he has his thing right on her knee. I just think, ew, it's just so inappropriate. Ugh. You know what? That and the fact that Corey is just not cute to me, you guys. I'm sorry, he's not. Nothing about him says cute. As a matter of fact, it's just not cute. So that on top of his whole demeanor and his whole outlook on women and trying to be a player and copy and paste and all that, I'm not feeling him. And you don't look good enough to be that way. Sir, you don't. You know what? Corey looks like Roger. Roger, go home, Roger. That's who he looks like. And yeah, no thank you, Roger. But anyway, Corey says he feels like he can fall in love with Courtney, yada, 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 whatever. All right, now we have Walter and I guess her name is Newman, something like that. But we'll just call her Wig. Walter and Wig gets together. She looks cute. She has on yellow shirt, blue jeans, and some red pumps or whatever. All right, cute. I'm not sure I would have put it together, but it looks fine on her. What don't look fine is that wig, but you ain't heard that from me. So we have a moment where Walter is telling her about kind of his family dynamic and him and his father, and says that they're not really close like that. And he wrote him like a 5-page letter, and he's like, literally, he wrote me back a post-it or whatever, and was just like, I'm at your sister's. And that was just kind of that. And she's like, yeah, because he was sharing so much, I want to be vulnerable too. And so she lets him know that she's not really close with her dad either. And boring. Do y'all remember that commercial? You guys, they are the most colorful date ever. He has on a tight purple shirt, some pink walking shorts, and some light blue shoes. Actually didn't look bad though. That's what's so crazy. So on top of her yellow shirt, blue jeans, and red shoes, they were just super colorful. However, she likes Walt, and I get it because Walt is a good conversationalist. He really is. I feel like he goes deep to make these women think he's being vulnerable, and he has so many different stories that just kind of touch your heart. You know, he's the one that's the widower. So I feel like, you know how you have to write in these letters to try to win some money or whatever, and whoever gets the best, you know, the most heartwarming story wins. I feel like Walt would win that hands down. Hands down. And I'm not even making fun of what happened with him because that's super serious, but I feel like he leads with all of that, and it's working. It's working. All right, so then we have a foursome with a bunch of randoms. Carrie with the braids, Shiloh, I don't really remember her. I guess Dante, whatever his name is, and is it Lamont, I think? Yeah, these guys are awful, as you can see. But it's just such a random date. It's just so boring. I don't care about any of these people. So let's get to it. They're doing yoga or some shit like that. I'm sorry, that's my error. Lamont is not with them. It's a different guy that's with him. The other guy that's with them, I can't remember his name, and he's not on this picture, but he's not so bad. Lamont though, not so good. That's not nice. Okay, so other random guy apparently is Phil, and he's talking to Shiloh. They, did their whole workout and then went into a different room, so they kind of separated. So it's Phil and Shiloh and Dante and Carrie. And yeah, let's just fast forward some of this boringness, okay? All right, let's get to the important part. The important part is the fact that Carrie is sitting here with Dante, and she's acting thirsty as all get out. Now remember, when she talked to Mr. Looky-Loo or Nervous Nelly, she was not, she wasn't thirsty and she wasn't aggressive. And we're just gonna actually go through this and see exactly how aggressive Miss Carrie is. She starts off by like hitting him and rubbing him on the legs like, hey, I finally got you alone. It's been a while. The thirst, but we're gonna keep going. So he asked her if she made some good connections, and she's like, yeah, I made some decent connections, but I'm trying to connect with you too. And I'm like, thirst number 2. And she kind of grabs his hands and everything. So in her confessional, she actually says she doesn't feel like he is very interested in her, but she still wants to dig a little deeper and see if there's anything there. And I'm like, girl, tell me that this is not just the definition of thirst. You see that he is not interested in you. However, okay, we'll move on. So she asked if he made connections. He said, yeah. And she's like, so what do you like? What do you want? Do you want me? And I'm like, okay, thirst and aggressiveness, case closed. She's done. Like, you cannot say that you are not aggressive with all of this aggressiveness. Ma'am, he's not interested. And she's constantly trying to figure out. So it ends with her trying to figure out something to ask him. You know what? I don't have anything else to ask. And I'm like, if he's not asking you any questions, that means he's not interested. So no, I'm not gonna try to push the conversation along with a grown ass man. If you are not interested, then beat it. Sorry. So no, he's not interested in her. So in the confessional, he's saying how he's on the fence about her because the conversation isn't flowing. And I'm like, cause your lazy ass isn't trying to make it flow. You don't like her, so you're not trying. So he sucks too. So this isn't just all on Thirsty Carrie. This guy is just boring. They're all boring. So I would like for us to move on to people that we care about. Although I'm not sure that we care about anybody on this cast. All right, so now we have another random date with Lamont and this random girl. I don't even know her name yet. Hold on, I'll let you guys know. All right, so they didn't put her name on the screen yet. So for now, we'll just call her Wig 2. And Lamont is making a drink for Wig 2, and her name is Wig 2 because her wig is messed up too. All right, and we also have Frank and Tasia going out, and he's playing bartender as well. Y'all, Frank is making her this drink, and okay, it's called the To See Her, but when his thick ass starts shaking the shaker, oh my God, when I tell you I had to watch it twice. He had this huge smile on his face, and his thick ass was just shaking. She was like, oh, all right. You guys, I can't finish with this date with Wig 2 and Lamont because I don't like his voice, and I don't like his face. I don't like him. Not that I don't like him. I'm just not feeling him at all, and so I have zero interest in learning anything about him. So I'm just gonna fast forward their date. Okay, please and thank you. Okay, so now we're back to Tasia and Thick Ass Frank, and he's asking her about herself, and she immediately starts talking about work and the fact that she has a startup computer business or whatever. And I'm just like, what does that mean? Like, I really want to know what she does. You have a startup company, but she said it was about a year ago today. And I'm like, so would that still be a startup? I don't know. Like, what are you saying? And he's saying that he's kind of turned off from her because when he's asking about her, all she's talking about is work. And he wants to know about her, not work. All right, so finally, we're back with nephew Tommy, and the guys are sitting around talking about their dates. We start off with Corey. Corey saying how he was feeling Moomin at first, or Noomin, whatever her name is, Wig 2. And now, all of a sudden, there's Courtney. This fool goes into how he bought some roses and he wrapped them in his own paper, and he's trying to outdo all the other men. And Cornelius is looking a little crazy. I don't know why, but okay, Corey. Okay. Corey is strictly still here for our entertainment purposes because he's so ridiculous that he's still here. Because other than that, there's no good reason for this man to still be here. All right, so then we go to Tyrone, Licky Lou, Nervous Nelly, and he says that Shiloh is the one for him now. She's the big joker. She's the one holding all the cards. And I'm like, what a goof. So then we see Phil in his confessional saying how, he was just a little shocked to hear Looky Lou talking about Shiloh because he feels like he has a connection with her too. Remember, they were doing yoga and working out and all that stuff. So he's like, he was just taken aback, but it's fine because it's a competition. So then we have Cornelius saying that Camille is his first choice and who he's really feeling. And I'm surprised by that because I do know I guess he likes her a little bit or whatever, but he did make comments in the confessional about how she's a little territorial and the fact that he's here to like more people than just her. So I don't know if he doesn't want to say Courtney because somebody already said Courtney, or maybe he really is liking Camille. I don't know. They had a really good hug, so we'll give him that. I'll let him pass with it. He really likes Camille for now. Oh, he actually does say that he's also feeling Courtney and says that he told her, and I guess on the phone she told him, well, the ball's in your court. And he said she was putting the pimping on him. And I'm like, yeah, Courtney is here pimping all you fools because she's just a big old freak. So anybody that come to her freaky enough, she's not going to be able to be with Cornelius because from what I understand, he wants to wait, or he's into waiting to do it. And she already said that's not her thing. She needs to get it in. All right, and so Cat Daddy Walter says that, his number one right now would be Moomin. He said she was not on his radar at first. However, when they went out, she's a contender now. And so, of course, they're showing Corey because Corey, changed her tire. They went out, he humped her and all that. So he's looking a little crazy, but yeah, Walter's feeling her now. All right, and then we're talking to Lamont, and he's just like, yeah, I like Zadia. And I'm like, who's Zadia? Have we ever seen Zadia? Apparently Zadia is wig too. We never knew her name. Apparently it's Zadia, and that's who he's feeling. All right, randoms. Okay, randoms. I'm just kidding. That's not nice. All right, so now they're talking about who they're not feeling, and Thick Ass Frank says that he just really can't get with Tasia. He tried, he's not really feeling her. And then we have old non-looker Lamont, and he's like, yeah, I cannot stand his voice. I cannot stand his beard. I just don't like it. But he's talking about how he's not feeling her either. And I'm like, dude, nobody even knows you're there. So it's fine that you're not feeling her. I'm sure she's not feeling you either. All right, so let's wrap it up. Who's going home? So we have Tasia and Cornelius going out. She's happy to be with Cornelius. And we have Lamont and Carrie with the braids going out. And, both of the girls are nervous, of course, because you've seen the show. You know how this works. If you go out, it could be good, it could be bad. So apparently they still want to keep Tasia on for a little while. She's happy. And I would be like, yo, if I was in the bottom again, I feel like I would just be like, you know what? Oh, y'all. And I would just be out of there. I would not be feeling none of these men. And I probably would just see myself out. I don't care how it looks on TV. I don't care that I look like a sore loser. I don't care. I don't like any of these men anyway, because look at them. Except Walter. Y'all, Walter looks really good in his confessional with that, what do you call that? Pink blazer on and everything. Okay, Walter. But the rest of them, pass. But yeah, so Tasia Stan and Carrie with the braids is going. Adios. I think she's a pretty girl. I just think that she was very aggressive. Like Looky Lou said, and very thirsty. Like she said she was not. However, we have determined that that is a lie. All right, you guys, I will see you guys later tonight. No, yeah, I may do Potomac. I don't know, because I missed you guys so much. I may pump out as much as I can. I may do Potomac if it's good. I think it's gonna be good. The mom's gonna be going at it. If not, I will definitely, of course, be doing Real Housewives of Potomac. But thank you guys. If you are still here, you are the real MVP. I appreciate you. If you are a new subby, again, thank you and welcome to the family. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. I would appreciate it. I really would. All right. See you guys in the next video. Smooches.